Hey everybody, welcome back to No Stone Face Reactions. I'm Griffin, that's Theta, and we're here watching some Jujutsu Kaisen. We got some comments here today, so let's see what people got to say. We got Pedro Kemerick saying, "From premature death. I thought the guy on the left understood it really well and put it really well in its conclusion. Gojo's Superman arc, that even being so powerful, he cannot save everyone, so he needs more than only him to be strong. Despite both of you talking in the middle of the most important and lore-heavy conversation in the series." Oh no, that conversation was super dense. I'm still reeling. How about you, Theta?
Were you about to call me Dad? It's
I
certainly
started
a
with an
D
E. Wait,
name.
that's not right. TH. That's what I need.
Data.
Data. Yeah. What are your thoughts?
I think I responded to this comment directly, though. That specifically, I was talking before with somebody about when you're doing the reaction stuff. Always keep mindful of the fact that when you're talking, one, you can't. We're not showing what's on the screen when we're having
Mhm.
our conversations, but also try to keep the talking to when you feel like you're finding the spots between the most impactful moments. Which, since this is a first time reaction, you're gonna just have to go with your gut on when that is. And
Yeah.
sometimes the gut is just wrong. Sometimes the two characters having a conversation just seems like meaningless chatter, and sometimes it's the most important shit.
Yeah, we have no way of predicting it. So we're trying our best here, we swear. Uh but yeah, I still like the way I put it, so I'm gonna go ahead and give myself a gold star here today. Theta, we got another comment. You want to read that one?
Yep, we have Alex V9 from Premature Death. This may be the longest comment I have ever made. I hope you read it.
Oh boy.
I like your way of analysis. Sorry for the inconvenience. Clarifications of episode 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 of the second series. No spoiler. Only read them when you are starting episode 10. Sorry, they wrote in full caps. That's the way you read full caps.
Is this episode 10, Theta?
Well, you tell me. I'm reading a note here. I'm
Then it's
reading
time to read.
I'm reading a synopsis here. I think it was their entrance thesis for college. Episode 5. There's not much to clarify about this episode since much of it was straightforward. Number 1, fun fact, the Buddhist priest robes that Geto wears are called kissa. The model shown specifically is called gojo kissa. Number 2, to confirm what you already know, in Jujutsu Kaisen, when a character dies, it is the end of that character. There will be no comebacks. There will be no revivals. There is no such thing as reincarnation except for certain cursed spirits. That's it. The character will not return to the story except for flashbacks. It's already wrong. Literally, our main character died and then came back. So,
That's a special exception because he's the main character. We know exactly why. And that's because a more powerful thing popped up and said, "Yes, I'm a cursed spirit. I'm going to make it happen."
I'm just saying it's literally already not true. So,
But we at least know it's correct for Gojo now that not Gojo, other guy, Gojo's friend.
God, you've got 2 out of the 4 letters.
Help me out here, Theta.
What do you want me to do?
Gojo's friend.
Yes, yes.
Ghetto.
There. I was trying to
All
think of a
right, we had
wordplay
him
that
for
would help you
Ghetto.
out.
Ghetto died, and he's not actually back. We know that now. It now all makes sense.
Like I said, it's our main character who came back to life. He had his heart
Mhm.
ripped out. He died. Doctor said he was dead. Then the spirit within him, sorry, our sorcerer within him regenerated him back to life or something. So,
We do have our cursed spirit from last time, Hanama, who turned into jelly. I don't think they're coming back then, given this information.
yeah, I never thought that they were.
I thought there was a chance. I thought it's like, oh, maybe we don't know enough about how they come back. There's like wide amounts of like things related to them. Maybe another one gets created. It's like, no, they're gone.
I mean,
So yeah,
Volcano Man had his head separated from his body and he keeps coming back, so who the hell knows?
he had at least one whole part of himself, right? And the important one.
Episode 6. The first part of the episode, number 1. The first part of the episode is not filler. This was a way to reintroduce the trio and their dynamics, because for anime watchers only, it has been a year since we saw them. Fun fact, the first part of the episode about Yuji and Yuko's story was created because the author's editor asked him to create a story where Yuji was popular with girls. I love it when people have to make special requests for me to be popular with girls. 2. Many were confused with the scene where Nobara feels strange when Yuko asks her if she likes Yuji, which she later clarifies that it is annoying to think that Yuji could have a partner before her. The truth is that the author did not want there to be any love relationship between the protagonists, like Naruto. For
Hmm.
that reason, the relationship they have is more like siblings.
Yeah, they're very clearly good friends, and it's nice to be outside of that drama. I see exactly why they made that choice.
Number 3. Some watchers have confused, due to appearance, Yoko Ozawa with Setsuko Sasaki, Yuji's classmate we met in episode 1, but they are different people.
Yeah, I think we had exactly that happen, so good clarification.
Did we?
We did for a moment.
Okay. Number 4. I heard you talk in the first season about this, and I don't know if anyone explained it. I don't know if anyone already explained it. Miwa, the girl with blue hair of Kyoto, does not have a crush on Gojo, and vice versa. What she feels towards Gojo is admiration, and just to mention it, she is 17 years old. Okay, I'm gonna jump in on this one. 17 is legal in Japan, I believe. Number 2, they literally asked, "Who do you have a crush on?" And she said Gojo, and then they asked Gojo, and she said that blue-haired girl. So I don't know how this is confusing us when they said it.
Oh, go ahead, go ahead.
I didn't have anything else. You sounded like you were about to say something.
I almost thought I was.
Okay, so you're not? Okay. Number 5, explanation of Mahito's curse technique, idol transfiguration. This was already explained in the first season and in more detail in the manga. It allows him to alter the shape of the soul of those he touches, and because the body is formed around the soul, altering its shape also changes the shape of the body. The lethality of the transfiguration will depend on the degree of it. If it is very extreme, the victim will die immediately. However, Mahito is capable of implanting orders in the brain remnants of the victim's corpse, and therefore controlling their body. This technique also allows Mahito to alter his own body, which, if it weren't for the fact that he is a cursed spirit, the transfiguration would kill him. But
Hmm.
Mahito cannot alter the bodies of others when he is transfigured. He has to do so in his base form. One cannot protect oneself from idol transfiguration with cursed energy, like Nanami did in episode 10. However, it can only momentarily prevent the transfiguration, depending on the amount of cursed energy in the reinforcement. But the effectiveness of the protection is reduced with each touch of the technique.
Okay, at least now we have an idea of like when to expect the threat and like what kind of defenses work with it. It kind of sounds a little bit like the defenses against techniques we got last time too. So I guess we have some parallels working here, or maybe like a prototype.
Important fact, those transfigured by the technique, even if it is just a wound, can never be cured. Even with the reverse curse technique, since the technique damages the soul, making the body impossible to heal.
It's just the new shape of it. You heal it back to the shape it is now at best, right?
Important fact, because Mahito can alter his own soul, he can also maintain it. This causes no form of physical attack on his body to be able to hurt him. The only way to harm Mahito is if one has the ability to perceive the soul, and therefore be able to harm it. To harm him.
Yeah.
Those capable of this are, shown so far, Yuji Itadori, since he shares the body with Sukuna's soul, Ryomen Sukuna, and possibly Satoru Gojo, thanks to the perception of the six eyes.
Right. Character who requires the main characters to come and beat him up. Got it.
Number 6. I was just one hand at number 6. Like, other hand has to push the button to talk. Heavenly restrictions are unbreakable for the cursed, since they are imposed by the cursed energy. However, since Mekamaru's body was restored by Mahito's transfiguration, it is very possible that the binding vow of the restriction has been broken.
Yeah, I think they were covering that like mid episode too, and he probably does not have whatever heavenly pact he started with.
Number 7. Mekamaru was acting as a triple agent for the sorcerer's side, even though he didn't mention it to anyone.
Yeah, that was we talked about that too. Like, how do we resolve his story if he lived? The answer is it's messy and he's got to explain it to be the triple agent, and no one's gonna buy it that much.
Alright. Episode 7. 1. Mekamaru was able to survive Mahito's domain expansion because he had stored the simple domain technique in containers for later use. As I mentioned in a previous comment, simple domain is a general technique that can help one survive a domain expansion by using the technique as a shield. This is also the reason why Mekamaru was able to hurt Mahito, because by shooting the container of the technique and embedding it in Mahito, he had evaded his soul/mind domain, and by expanding the simple domain on Mahito's small domain, it exploded.
Okay, I like that.
2. It is estimated that the number of people who went to the Halloween event in Shibuya Crossing in 2018 was between 30,000 to 40,000 people.
Massive, basically, yeah. I think we've been talking about like the level disaster or like secret world and like how you can keep the masquerade up and all that. 30, 40,000 people, terrible disaster, and no way people aren't hearing about this.
Episode 8 and 9. Mind you, this was posted before then, I think, so a lot of these are suppositions that we're going to fuck stuff up and will correct us beforehand. So,
Oh yeah.
especially number 1 here. You may have forgotten, but the new character we see in Mahito's group was already introduced at the end of the first season. He is one of the 9 death paintings, cursed objects, which Mahito managed to steal. 3 death paintings from the school when they were interrupted by the school event. His name is Choso.
What does all this mean?
Well, remember, he's on the board. I put him on the board and I explained to you who he was. So I know that
Yeah.
I have not forgotten. Literally,
Okay.
literally, we also talked about it. Like I said, these
Mhm.
are things that this person thinks we will have forgotten. It is making random guesses in the dark.
They are correct. I have forgotten at least.
Again, he's on the board. 2. Choso, like his brothers Eso, Kachizu, who were killed by Yuji and Nobara, episode 24, is not invisible to the Nomar people. This is because he and his brothers are half human and half curse, explained in episode 24. Plus, they have been incarnated in human bodies, similar to Sukuna with Yuji.
Yeah, I don't remember the full discussion of it, but we were having like a small talk earlier about like, is that guy a cursed spirit or a human? And like we were apparently not in agreement on that.
Well, they
So I
go.
guess it's good to know the answer was both the entire time.
Well, no, I think we were in agreement because they go on at length telling you that they're half.
Hmm.
Number 3, explaining what Gojo did with his domain. He expanded his domain by 0.02 seconds, by zero point 0.2 seconds, which was how long normal people could endure being in the unlimited void without dying, although he left them in a coma for 2 months, and then proceeded to kill the 1,000 transfigured humans that Mahito brought in within a period of 4 minutes and 59 seconds, 299 seconds.
Yeah, the real Superman slash Flash scene, which was amazing.
Number 4, what Geto meant by a minute in Gojo's mind was a minute in the in the person's perception of time, Because the six eyes allows Gojo to process information quickly, the passage of time in Gojo's perception is slower. For Gojo, that 1 minute was like 10, maybe even more.
Mm-hmm.
Number 5. It's funny how you jokingly predicted with 99% accuracy that something. Sorry, I guess I had this wrong. Maybe we did release an episode. I know it's hard to tell. I had to hold off on this episode, this comment, because we hadn't recorded number 10 yet. So the
Oh yeah.
difference between the YouTube release and the Patreon releases make me think that this episode wasn't, or this comment wasn't posted when they could have seen. I don't, and the difference between our recording schedule for the 3 weeks that we didn't record the episodes, it's all very wildly throwing me off.
Just roll the dice. You'll be right.
It's funny how you jokingly predicted with 99% accuracy that something had stolen Ghetto's body and was using it. The 1% is that it was not a cursed spirit, but a sorcerer who can jump from body to body.
Right, which is something I don't think we could have possibly predicted, so we did our best.
Wow, Griff, you're even getting the comments wrong. Let me reread that first sentence for you. It's funny how you jokingly predicted with 99% accuracy
Yeah,
that
and
something...
the part we didn't get was the part we couldn't have possibly guessed.
Well, you said it's funny how we didn't predict that. It's like the comments pointing out that we did predict that. 6. Mekamaru is dead. The device where his voice comes out is an insurance policy that he left in case of emergency.
Okay, there we go. That perfectly explains it. I thought maybe they were just using something he built previously as a radio.
Again, sorry for the long text. I hope this was helped in something.
Hey, it was definitely fun at the very least, so thanks for the comment. So, Theta, going back over all of it, since you can see it, is there any part you want to go back over and add in any extra flavor of your own? Any extra thoughts?
That was literally the time when I was reading it would have been when I would have done so.
Well, just making sure, making sure. So let's go ahead and catch up with where we are right now, where last episode was the Shibuya incident. Gate open. The battle between Gojo and the cursed spirits continue and reaches a climax with an unexpected arrival. And that was, of course, Geto arriving to seal Gojo inside of the cube prison thing that they brought along and were planning the entire time. And Geto revealing that, surprise, Geto is dead. There's actually a brain inside there using his power. Which again was the sorcerer who can hop around people's body thing we just mentioned a couple minutes ago. So big reveals, lots of cool moments, and the most powerful character is now written out of the story for a moment. So Theta, what do you think's gonna happen next?
Well, before that, I've found a timeline of events for the episode. 7 p.m. The curse users cast a 400-meter radius curtain in Shibuya. 8:14 p.m. Sorcerers are on standby near the curtain. 8:31 p.m. Satoru Gojo arrives in Shibuya. 8:38 p.m. Gojo steps over people to inspect the area. 8:39 p.m. Yuji Itadori worries about Gojo being alone. 8:40 p.m. Choso, Jogo, and Hanami challenge Gojo. 8:51 p.m. Yuji finds out Mahito is in Shibuya. 9:03 p.m. Yuji fights the grasshopper curse, Kogai. 9:14 p.m. Mahito senses Kogai has been defeated. 9:15 p.m. Pseudo Geto opens the prison realm and seals Gojo.
So, yeah, the fight lasted maybe about an hour then, if I'm hearing right, or less than, a little less.
Which fight?
Gojo's fight specifically.
We don't have a time for when exactly that starts. I guess maybe 8:40 is when Choso and gang challenge him, so I guess you consider that the start of the fight. That's been under an hour,
point, yeah.
But the entire timeline itself is just a little over 2 hours.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so about half that time was him fighting it out with all of them down there, and then one very long minute for him, and now he's in the box. Good timeline to have though. So does that is there anything surprising in here to you, like that you didn't expect or like you didn't catch when you were watching?
No, because those are very general things of what happened.
A little too broad. We do have a bunch of other characters around who have been introduced as being there and being involved, but haven't been seen since in the last couple of
Well,
episodes.
Griff, 8:14 p.m.
They're on standby near the curtain. Yeah, they have been shown since 8:14. So we got a whole hour for them to do anything.
Well, yeah, but they don't clearly do anything because we've seen all the scenes of action.
Right.
Literally, we've seen every
Well,
character on both sides.
well, we still have Yuji and crew are on the case. They're in the building, and they know something's up. Did we get a good last time for figuring out like what we're gonna see here? Like what kind of fight we're getting into?
I don't remember. I don't remember the name of the episode either.
All right, with that wonderful bit of speculation, then I say let's go ahead and get straight on into it and, well, see if we can get Gojo out of the box. But before we begin, be sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and comment down below to feed that algorithm. On top of all that, if you want to watch more shows like this, unfiltered, uncensored, and uncut, as well as some early access stuff, you can go ahead and follow us over on the Patreon. It's just $5 a month, but no pressure. It's all to support the channel, just a little bit extra.
Click the link down below. Join the Discord. I didn't think of something to say before I started talking. Cool, I hope we're playing in mud.
They're loading up the Mekamaru OS.
どうしました？
いや、なんか耳に。
聞こえるか、虎杖雄二。よく聞け。
What a jerk.
待て待て待て、味方だバカ。今日どこのメカ丸だ。時間がない。
I would have expected it was a pre-recorded message in which he would have destroyed all the intel they would have had.
封印された。
As per the long comment that we read, which said Mekamaru was dead and this is just a recording or something.
おやすみ。
Right.
五条悟。新しい世界でまた会おう。
僕はな、お前はそろそろ起きろよ。いつまでいいようにされてんだ、スグル。
Oh. All right, about now, I guess.
But as per our number one, Ghetto's dead and can't come back. So,
But he's still in the body fighting back.
初めてだよ、こんなの。
あげと。マヒト、見てくれ。君は魂は肉体の先にあると述べたが、やはり肉体は魂であり、魂は肉体なんだよ。
Ah, another answer to the mind soul dilemma.
I mean, also not choking him that hard because he was still talking without even having like a gasp in his voice.
それって一貫してないといけないこと？俺とゲトの術式では世界が違うんじゃない？術式は世界か。
Oh, now that makes it the most complicated system ever.
おーい。やるならさっさとしてくれ。むさ苦しい上眺めも悪い。
こちらとしてはもう少し眺めていたいが、そうだね。何かあっても嫌だし。平門。
Wonder how long that took perception-wise.
これもう使えないんだっけ？ああ、定員1名。中の人間が自死しない限り使用不可だ。ふん、つまんな。ま、何はともあれ。封印完了。
Well, there goes Gojo.
Well, your character out of it for now. My character still in the show.
No!
In as much as he doesn't show up in the show.
Hey, the less he shows up, the less likely he's gonna be in a box, right?
Sure. But I mean, as far as we know, there's only the one box.
So you were asking a question about like how long it would have been for Gojo there, and I guess that comes down to like how much dilation does he experience regularly?
Or how much he wants to, is what I'm saying.
We did have
if he wanted to like
maximum.
have one last view of the outside world before he gets seen, he could have slowed it down incredibly. So that took forever for him. But it was normal what we saw on screen.
We do have a supposed maximum, which was like what, 1 minute for a whole year? Like when he was running around killing the 1,000 manipulated spirits, right?
We don't know if that was maximum.
I want to assume he wanted to do it as fast as possible.
Sure. Doesn't mean that he was, though.
I mean, I guess I have to go death battle and go, it's like, well, it's a feat, and he did it on screen, so that's what he can do. That's the best I can argue.
Right. I'm future-proofing this conversation by saying that eventually something might push him even harder. Like somebody he cares about might actually be in that group. In which case he pushes his limits, which he might not have done here.
In the present moment is all I mean. So he could watch it for a whole year.
何を根拠にそれを信じればいい？
悪いが何もない。あえて言わせてもらえば、俺がここにいることだ。俺はすでに10月19日、真人という特級呪霊に殺されている。今の俺は生前の俺が残した保険に過ぎない。高度な保険だ。発動条件を五条悟封印後に限定せざるを得なかった。不発のリスクを低減するため。
But how would you say no?
So there's 2 more we get to wait for in the future.
Yes, we've all seen Harry Potter.
なぜ？
索敵に長けている人間が渋谷で暗躍せずに明治神宮前に派遣されているからだ。虎杖はそもそも数ヶ月前まで呪術界とのつながりがなかった。
いやいや、体よく協力を拒むためかもよ。それにすぐに渋谷に向かおうとした虎杖君を今の今まで止めていたのは私だ。待機命令が出ていたとはいえ。
ではなぜあんたを始末するための呪詛師がここに向かっている。
See, that's what I'm saying. How does it know the things it's not around to know?
I guess it's a tiny part of a soul inside of a earpiece.
That's not even close to what I was asking.
虎杖君、こいつらと君がさっき戦った呪霊どっちが強い？
多分さっきのバッタより強い。
虎杖君が払った呪霊は人語を操っていたらしいし、少なく見積もっても準1級以上。そんな連中がうようよいるのか。今までどこで何してたんだろう。呪詛師は無視して先に進もう。まずは五条君の安否確認だ。
ダメだ。もう渋谷の状況は変わっている。相手の結界術はこちらの数段上手だ。
Yeah, how do you know?
渋谷には4枚帳が降りている。A、一般人を閉じ込める帳。B、五条悟を閉じ込める帳。C、術師を入れない帳。D、A と同じ一般人を閉じ込める帳だ。
この線路の先も C の帳で塞がれていると。
そうだ。すでに待機していた術師たちは。
I appreciate how thick this is with information. Almost as thick as Legend of the Galactic Heroes is with people.
We gotta explain every single bit of magic going on, you know? Because that's very much what the material conditions are now.
メイさん。
わかった。言ってごらん。
虎杖は明治神宮前に戻り、地上から渋谷に向かってくれ。五条封印を術師戦隊に伝達。五条奪還をこちらの共通目的に据えろ。
おう。
メイメイは虎杖が抜ける隙を作ってくれ。呪詛師撃退後はとりあえずこの線路を押さえておいてほしい。 だがまだ相手の出方がわからん。
臨機応変ね。ところで君の講座はまだ凍結されていないね。
You're gonna pay me for this, right?
呪術界も人間社会もひっくり
I
返る。
mean, nobody knows he's dead yet, so it's up to you.
それでもいいと思っていたんだが、最低だな、我ながら。
ねえねえ、僕は
好きな方につけ。
みんな来たよ。
メイメイだな。
好きに動いていいよ。合わせるから。
ボス。
全員起きたね。さて
I love how they're all still drowsy.
どうした
I figured they just burnt out.
Yeah, from all the info.
No, the fighting they were doing before.
Well, that too.
物理的時間は流れてないっぽいね。まずったよな。いろいろとやばいよな。なんとかなるか。
Oh, that was doing something in there.
Yeah, I thought so too for a second. Stuck in the box, but still fighting.
I mean, unless just flicking his eyes open was affecting the box somehow.
Yeah, yeah.
駅に閉じ込められた分を差し引いたとしても人口密度低かったな。
改造され建物内に待機していた人間が今になって非術師を襲い始めたか。
だから我々も待機をやめ突入。仕方のないことですが、対応が後手に回りすぎです。だが一番気がかりなのは
同時に降りた術師を入れない帳ですね。五条先生が現着してからそこそこ時間が経ってる。
All these side people are here,
中で
but not my guy.
戦略上このタイミングである必要が。
He's having a break, you know?
確実に言えるのは無策で挑んでくるタイプではないということ。私は帳を下ろしている敵を、二人は片っ端から一般人を保護してください。
Whoosh through the Stargate.
Oh man, now I miss Stargate. How could you do this to me?
状況を確認次第、新田さんはもう一度帳の外へ。中で電波が断たれる以上、常に誰かが外にいなくてはならない。あなたにはその役をやってもらいたい。
Oh, one of Ghetto's girls?
役だけで何としても連絡網を確立する。
Oh, it's feeling like it.
窓の一部も動員すれば可能。
No, not the homeroom teacher.
Yeah, your favorite guy. Oh, come on. Are you gonna move, man? To like fall over or something? No, it's not even one of Ghetto's girls, it's just one of the Ghetto's bossy, though.
Yeah, it's the curse user from before.
Oh, this one. From the gambling. Oh, here's the thing. I didn't think that guy was gonna die because I thought he'd be so far away from the fighting. Seriously though, the first time you get stabbed, you should be your automatic reaction to move away.
Up two Mechamaru left.
Well, at least it answers the question. The question you weren't having for some reason, but I was.
なんで？
五条悟だからだ。
納得。
包囲網を作るぞ。
They did say they needed to wait for it to process all the information of Gojo, and I'm just like, but that's infinite, right?
向かわせろったってイジさんと連絡つかねえし。あ、なんだ。
I don't know that it's
渋谷には
infinite.
誰が来てんの？
That sounds like my my argument for Carol using her memories to power shit. Technically, you should have infinite memories because you're always creating them. Don't worry, she's not actually a nun. It's Halloween.
Now's the perfect time to be a nun, though. You just fit right in. No one will ever suspect it.
Yes, if there's one thing nuns are known for, it's hiding in crowds. Hey, you guys.
That's some good yelling voice, though.
There's one way to tell everybody.
すぐに虎杖君と合流します。もし封印が本当なら終わりです。
I'm going home. I'm off the clock.
It's like, I'll only work for another hour tonight.
術師が総力上げてここに来るよ。私はここに残るけど、みんなはどうする？
俺は弟の敵、虎杖裕二と釘崎野原を殺す。その後高専に保管されている他の弟たちを回収する。
釘崎とやらは知らんが虎杖はダメだ。少なにする。
関係ない。
え？
ジョーゴ、落ち着いて。
Oh yes, the classic rivalry these two have shared the entire show.
やっぱ俺も虎杖殺したいかな。
Shosu, who only showed up at the end of season 2.
Oh, the plan's falling apart so fast, though.
五条を封印した今、術師と呪霊はイーブン。スクナが復活すれば超優勢。ほぼ勝ちってことでしょ？まあ、そうだね。じゃあさ、今の戦力でも勝つときは勝つってことじゃん。虎杖殺しちゃおう。大丈夫。スクナなんていなくたって俺たちなら勝てるさ。
本気か？
本気と書いて大マジさ。
Ah, back to the vacation.
Yeah, it's like, why? Why are we here?
呪いが人として立っていればそれでいい。スクナは味方ではない。復活したことでわしらが負うリスクの方が大きいかもしれん。だがスクナが復活すれば確実に呪いの時代が来る。わしらは今の人間どもとは違うのだ。死すら恐れず目的のために裏表のない道を歩む。それが偽物どもにはない呪いの真髄だ。
違うっしょ。
ね？
軸がぶれようと一貫性がなかろうと
I mean,
偽りなく欲求の赴くままに行動する。
feels like Mahito would not want all humans to die.
Right,
Because he's
right.
the curse of humanity.
復活案自体はありだと。
He's the surest way to kill him, I
ジョー
think.
ゴと争う気もない。だからゲームをしようよ。俺が先に虎杖とエンカウントしたら奴を殺す。ジョーゴが先なら指を差し出してスクナに力を戻せばいい。
俺が先なら俺がやる。いいな。
お、長宗も参加する？もちろんいいよ。ゲートはどちらかといえばジョーゴ派だろ？
It's so nice and refreshing to just see a group of villains just kind of like agreeing on like simple plans together, right?
好きにするといい。私にとってスクナは
I mean, obviously, Jogo doesn't want this at all either way.
Right, right. But they had a disagreement, they proposed a resolution, and they're just already on the same page. It's like, it's nice, right?
呪霊の方が君たちより利口だな。
返せ。
私たちはお前に協力し、サルどもを落とし続けた。
約束通りゲトウ様の体を返せ。
Oh, these are the ghetto
ゲトウ
girls.
様をこれ以上
Yeah.
これ以上もてあそぶな。
返すわけがないだろう。君たちの頭まで空っぽにした覚えはないんだがね。次術師と約束するときは縛りであることを明確にするんだな。消えろ。それともこの体に殺してほしいか。
後悔するぞ。
I wonder if our other guy's gonna come back.
後悔か。さて、
Or one ghetto guy.
どんな味だったかな。
Oh yeah, he might. They're still out there.
I don't know.
What?
Our movie guy who was with him doesn't come back either.
I was so ready though for those two girls to just like run out there and be like, "Yes, we're gonna do this now," and just immediately lose.
誰？ナナミンってマジでナナミさんのことだったんだな。
ゲトウさんが。
正確に言うと、ゲトウスグルの裏にいる何者かだ。今渋谷駅構内はまさに服まで。特急とそいつ
I think I described it as pandemonium since everyone's just standing stock still like zombies.
確かにそれなら地下鉄の隣駅から。
Used to be pandemonium.
だがそのためにはまず帳を解かなければ。
緊急事態だ。マルチタスクで頼む。
シノゴの言ってる場合ではないか。一級でしか通らない要請がいくつかある。外に出てイジチ君とそれらを全て済ませてきます。3人にはその間に術師を入れない帳を解いてほしい。日野君、草壁さんや全員特別一級術師もこの帳内にいるはずです。合流できた場合、現状を伝えて協力を仰いでください。あの大声でもう伝わっているかもです。
I feel like we need like a map.
それから
Well, that would probably help a little bit, yeah.
2人を
Well, with everyone's locations and where they're heading.
イノさん？
ナナミさんに頼られちゃった。お前ら！任務の前に事の重大さを教えてやる。題して五条さんがいなくなって困る2つのこと。1つ、五条家の失墜。五条家は五条悟のワンマンチーム。五条さんが聞かせていた融通かっこわがままで救われていた術師が数多くいる。虎杖、お前も
Well, I guess all of his reputation then.
軽いな。
Well, I mean, it's even more. He said it's a one-man clan, but we know Gojo has a relative from the movie.
そしてその2、パワーバランスの崩壊。五条悟がいるからという理由でおとなしくしていた呪詛師、呪霊たちが一斉に動き出す。
Oh, some My Hero Academia moment.
その2の奴らとプチ
Now that All Might's down, everyone's crawling out of the woodwork.
Yeah, it's the villain war.
負けたらどうなる？
少なくとも日本では人間の時代が終わるかもしれないですね。
分かってんじゃねえか。行くぜ後輩ちゃんぜ。ナナミさんが戻る前に帳をぶっ
Sorry, you
壊
just
す。
slapped me?
五条悟
It's his thing, you know? Ah, that's it. Ah. Well, we're setting up for more action. We just haven't got to it. We got all the magical explanation we could ever ask for instead.
Surprisingly little happened in the episode called Pandemonium.
I think the pandemonium is my brain trying to make sure all of this gets organized into an understandable set of rules. But we got thrown the most complicated thing possible, and that's every power can work entirely on its own ideology and principles. Nothing has to be consistent.
At this point, I am just trying to keep up with what's literally happening in the moment on screen. Other than that, I'm counting on the comments to keep me up to date on what I just saw.
But that's the thing. They dropped and said it could be anything. We're in the world where anything is possible now. But at least in terms of like real physical things happening here, just everyone organizing as a group to go save Gojo, at least that's straightforward and understandable, right? At least that's the part we get.
That's why I said we could use a map showing us where they are in, I guess, relation to the veils. and who's operating towards who, or like at least heading towards what directions together. So we know at least 3 of them are heading towards Itadori, but we don't know where he is.
淡さかや聞こえたか。五条悟が封印された。敵方に情報が漏れとる。
いいじゃねえか、拝みババ。俺はようやく実感湧いてきたぜ。
Was that the guy who cloned himself from the movie? No, never mind. Just wearing the same shirt.
I almost thought so.
これからどうなっちまうのかな、この国は。
Is it one of the cults from the movie?
I think maybe they're just like handling the barriers.
奥さん聞きました？五条さんところの悟君封印されちゃったんですって。
まあいつかこうなると思っていたんですよ。いつも乳首から下が足かよってくらいのスタイル見せびらかしちゃってさ。
次回恒例。
あ、ゲトウさん聞きました？五条さん。
I have no idea what's about to happen. I don't know what this is telling me.
Crazy.
Looks like the woman, the old lady from Akira, is about to show up and do something.
Yeah, it kind of feels like it, right? So, oh gosh, what? My mind just got blocked off. What's on your mind?
That the old lady from Akira is about to show up and do something?
Yeah, so I guess we're gonna fight a mid-boss first before we actually get to the action of saving Gojo.
I have no idea. I don't know what side they're on.
Alright,
It seemed like they were about to... I don't know. I don't know! I feel like I need at least 3 or 4 paragraphs from a commenter to tell me what is happening.
At least the show is not disappointing when it says it is the most complicated power system out there. It is continuing to renew that to us. But I think the thing I want to focus on the most, the thing that I'm going to keep track of, is Jogo has a bunch of Sukuna fingers, is going to try finding Yuji, and is going to try powering him up out of nowhere, and everyone is going to be completely confused by it. It is going to be a hilarious set of scenes trying to forcefully power up Yuji while he is fighting everybody else to the death.
Well, no, they said if I find him first, I'm going to try and do this. So I assume that we're both rooting for Jogo to find Yuji first, right?
Right, but obviously, like they said, if Sukuna comes back fully and is reincarnated, it's over for the sorcerers, so they also don't want that.
No, they do.
How do they know?
No, they said that they do want that. They said it's a possibility that it'd be over for the sorcerers, but it's the only way that the cursed spirits would, would take over everything. So it has to be done. There's just a risk. Also, they're cursed spirits, not cursed sorcerers, so they're not really in the concern here.
Right. So that's the thing I want to keep track of, because again, like I said, I think it'll be hilarious in execution. It is going to be the entire relief of tension for the fight that's going to come.
Well, just one of these is more interesting than the other. We want Jogo to find him so we can see Sukuna do something, because it's been fucking forever. Versus Choso or Mahito finding him, it's just another fight.
Yeah. And of course, we've already done the Yuji versus Mahito fight. We can always get part 2, but he's also the only person who can possibly hurt him, so it has to happen, right?
It's not.
We listed 3 people. One of them was Yuji, the other one is the person inside of Yuji, and the third one was Gojo.
I'm pretty sure we only listed Sukuna, not Yuji himself.
I feel like we did list Yuji, but it's been a moment.
I'm pretty sure Sukuna is the only one. It was Gojo, Sukuna, and
Yuji.
No, I'm
I
sure
think it's Yuji.
I don't think it was.
Well, in that case, we'll find out who can actually hurt him.
Hold on,
next time.
before you don't transition away from the show when I'm obviously looking it up.
But I'm having fun making you research faster.
Well, stop making me go faster if you finish. Don't finish before me, Griff. How many times do I have to tell you?
Well, let's see. And I think the only other thing on mind is, like, of course, how much information does the box have to process? How long does it take on average? And is Gojo infinite and can never be processed? I feel like that's going to be the case here, because it's already been set up that, like, he can pull in infinite amounts of information. What's the box going to do?
I'm sorry, I just can't figure out where to find the bit about Mojito. This was a... Oh, sorry, I'm reading the wrong one. Thank God I didn't really read it that well. Let's see, the next one down. That one was a read in episode 11 thing. Didn't go deep into that one. Let's see, this one. Okay.
There you go. Hunt down those comments.
Mojito's technique, however Mojito's capable of, can be... Okay. The only way to harm Mojito is if one has the ability to perceive the soul and therefore be able to harm him. Those capable of this are, shown so far, Yuji Itadori, since he shares the body with Sukuna's soul, Ryomen Sukuna, and possibly Satoru Gojo. I think you're wrong.
I got it right, Theta.
I think you're wrong. That doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense because he doesn't get any of Sukuna's powers unless Sukuna gives them to him, which then means that Sukuna needs to be in control, at which point it is just fucking Sukuna. There is no Yuji in this.
The score today is Griffin 1, Theta like at least 20.
I have been at the peak of being right all day today, Griffin. I'm gonna count this.
And I'm taking you down.
No, I'm gonna count this as still on peak being right. My logic is sound. If Sukuna is not in control of the body, then Yuji doesn't get those powers, in which case it is always just Sukuna. I feel like I'm doing a Hawaiian rap saying these names sometimes.
Well, we'll get the score right next time. But for right now, let's go ahead and wrap up for today. This has been Stone Face Reactions, everybody. I'm Griffin, that's Theta, and we'll catch you next time. See you around. Hey everybody, thanks for watching another Stone Face Reactions. If you have an idea of another video we could go ahead and watch, go ahead and put it in the comments down below, and we'll add it to the wheel. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and let us know what you thought about this video, and what parts you liked. And until then, we'll see you next time. Is this too goofy?